I am just gonna basically, I'm just here to introduce our wonderful speakers who are going to share information. Oh, geez, here we go. All right, so I am Jodie Huegerich, and I worked with Waverly-Shellrock and Union Community School District. We've been working together, going on our 4th year, but we had a USDA Farm to School grant that brought us all together. We had some interactions prior to the grant. So Becky is here from Waverly-Shellrock, and she's going to start us off, and then Cera will talk about Union. But just wanted to make a couple comments with this grant that it was 3 districts working together on this grant, and that spanned 5 counties in Iowa because Union covers 2 counties. And that was approximately 4,750 students that were impacted by all of the great work that everybody has done. So I'm going to pass it on to Becky. And Becky, if I don't advance fast enough on the slides, just please let me know.
Yeah, sounds good. So I would start just by saying, I feel like within this grant, we had a lot of work to do. We have done farm to school in various capacities at Waverly-Shellrock, in small bits here and there. And so it was nice to have more of a focus of what our efforts look like. And as you'll hear at the end, we're continuing to work on that. But I feel like Jodie kind of gathered us in, and I feel like we made her like drag us behind sometimes. She was a champion for it, and I think a lot of the work into that grant happened because of Jodie and also Eileen and a few others that really encouraged us and pushed us forward. And I see names on the screen for pieces of information that I've received before from folks. So thank you for your encouragement. But here are a few things. We'll work through just a couple of slides because what our students did was pretty fun and great. And it's a lot better to look at those pictures than to listen to us speak. So we have a champion in our district that I would say is our middle school FCS teacher, Mrs. Kuzi. And she took students on various field trips. Jodie helped coordinate those efforts. We remember field trips from when we were younger and how impactful those are to actually get out to a farm and to see what farmers are doing on a commercial level, on a local level. In Iowa, we kind of have it all here, and it's nice to get our students out of the classroom to see that. So they took a trip to, I believe this is Shellrock, if I remember right, one of our local growers within our district. So they went out and learned a little bit about growing there. And then they also went to a dairy farm down the road in our neighboring district in Clarksville, which is super fun. I grew up on a dairy farm, so I think this is maybe one of my favorite areas to get the kids out and to see how they take care of their animals, how they take care of their land, and kind of that piece that we don't always, we see it as we drive by, but we don't always get to know. We also did farm to school day. We've done that for a few years now. Some years we do better than others, but we had local yogurt from Country View Dairy, and then kind of the salad greens. And I think it's a continual education process. So if you look at these beautiful salad greens, I think one of the things one of our students said was, it's rotten. Why is it purple like that? You know, they're used to the commercial, the bagged lettuce that looks very consistent and very familiar. So when you add in different varieties, that was a nice education piece for them. Here you'll see some of the signs that they put up. One of the things this year that we're working on is in what we do, but marketing it a lot better. We do a lot of different things within the district, but at least sharing that out and sharing that to parents. This is Mrs. Kuzi on the left. She has Brussels sprouts from one of our local growers, and in her classroom are some of these next pictures of them preparing different squash, growing things in the middle school garden, and then they also have an indoor garden that they just started as well at the middle school. So our middle school has about 700-ish students, and all of them get to go through Mrs. Cousie's class at one point, and then some go above and beyond and do FCCLA and things like that with Mrs. Cousie. But she really is a champion for our farm to school efforts. She's always looking for the next grant. She's always encouraging us on. So it was exciting. This is from our 5K. We do a fundraiser every year. So every student completes the 5K. That's coming up here in October. I think maybe it's our 5th year of doing this. And the middle school raises often over $15,000. So all students complete it, all students receive a t-shirt, all students practice in PE. So I saw them running around the outside of the building the other day just to get some practice in, but we have a 5K route and the band is on it. The community's cheering them on, whether they're walking or they're running. And then they get their times, they wear bibs, we do the whole thing. So Jodie was there with some samples. Middle school is hungry at all times, but they're especially hungry after a 5K. So there were some fun treats and local snacks for them, as well as milk and sack lunches. So it's a really fun day. And as a parent of middle schoolers, I love it because we don't have to sell anything ever. So it's a great fundraiser. It's a good activity for them. My 6th graders still like it. My 8th graders may be phasing out a little bit on the excitement and joy of the prizes that go along with that. But the money goes back into the school so they can do the extra above and beyond field trips, fun activities. They go to the W here in Waverly too for activity as well. So the 5K is a really fun day. So again, we've appreciated Jodie's guidance as well as we work into these next. I hear the LFS through about every single screen. Here, the folks working on that. So appreciative of the guidance that you have provided. So thank you to those who keep sharing out information through email and helping us to kind of navigate that. I honestly feel like we have a lot of work to continue to do, but it's very helpful to have that encouragement when normally we're worried about staffing and all the other things that go on during the actual normal day, that there's folks to kind of help guide us into what I think is some of the more fun parts of school food service. So I'll toss it to Cera, I think, right? Yes.
Okay. Can you hear me? You can? Okay. I'm Cera Glenn with Union Community Schools, and we have 4 schools, 2 elementaries and a middle school and a high school that are so involved in farm to school. We have an egg science program here. We have gardens in 3 locations. And we really try to do as much farm to school and local that we can. Okay. So this is actually a view of our middle school garden, and it sits right in the kind of the back pasture of the football field. And this is where a lot of the local food day vegetables and fruits come from. We try to time it, and now that we kind of know it's around the same time of year, we do the best that we can to get cucumbers, tomatoes, cantaloupe, watermelon, and peppers. And that has been a huge contribution to the farm to school. The kids go out as part of their daily lab to pick the produce and get educated on what it's for, and they get to see it on the salad bar, so that's pretty neat. They take a lot of recognition for doing the things out there, the dirty work to the picking, and then they get to eat it too. So that's kind of nice. And then this is actually Lois Beck before he retired from Union, and he provides us with apples from his orchard, but we also have our own. But he's hands-on, has always been, and he's still very, very helpful to us, and is between Jodie and Lois have been great. As a new director, this is kind of how I went into it, and just 100% farm to school, with being surrounded by fields and all the resources that we can possibly have that a lot of people don't realize are there. So yeah, and the next one, in kind of the same, I thought that was kind of a cool picture. The high school kids come over and do a lot of the heavy duty work and involve the middle schoolers. We have a garden at our elementary in LaPorte. We also do hydroponic lettuce at the high school. And as you can see, we get dirty. So it's part of the deal. And we don't have kids, you know, they're pretty anxious and ready to be in this class because they want to be part of what we're doing here. So this outdoor lab also is part and beside our apple trees. Kids do everything from planting to pruning, so, and picking, and we serve all those apples till gone. So it's kind of a great deal on the products that we get, that we grow. Everyone gets to see when they eat lunch. So let's see. And as far as the grant, it's been an amazing book of knowledge. I mean, Jodie's helped me throughout a lot of my starting of becoming a new director, and really helped me out with incorporating the whole farm to school and local, and really that's kind of what we stand by now. We are 100% in, and the kids love it. Let's see, is that our last one? Yep. Okay, so
Awesome. Thank you, Cera and Becky, for speaking. Sorry about the little mishap there.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. Great pictures though. Love it.
Thank
and
you.
yes, my computer just completely freaked out, so I apologize, everybody. But really, Cera and Becky have done all the work. I just get to ask questions and do the connecting, but they're the ones that are doing all the hard work and making all this local happen, along with that support from others in the district. As Cera mentioned, you know, FFA highly involved in their district. You know, Waverly looks different. They have their family consumer science teacher highly involved. So it definitely takes more people in each district, as you guys all know, making things happen in addition to what's happening on our lunch trays. That is all we have for you guys this morning.
That was amazing. Those pictures were really, really beautiful. So thank you. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for sharing all of that with us.